Thanks for joining us here on this Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Hannah Skye filling in for meteorologist Clay Smith. Still feeling a little bit under the weather today, but here's what you can expect. It is a storm alert weather day. We're seeing some rainfall already starting to trickle in. This is kind of a round one of several rounds that are going to move in today. First push of rainfall, not necessarily expecting much of a severe weather threat. It's very low, not quite zero. We're going to have some heavy rain moving through. Might even see some gusty winds. Winds already picking up. It's blustery outside. Humidity levels are high. The main event is more this afternoon into tonight. All forms of severe weather are going to be on the table. We'll be keeping a close eye on that. Like we've been talking about, the high winds as well as the flash flood threat are the key things we'll be watching most closely. The tornado threat is low, fortunately, but it's not zero. So let's take a look at things you can do to make sure you're staying safe and weather aware. Have several ways to receive severe weather alerts. Don't just have one. And I will say this, never rely solely on tornado sirens. You know, we might not see any type of tornado warnings, but did just want to throw it out there. Tornado sirens are not a dependable way to get any type of warning. They're more for if you happen to be walking around outside and they don't always go off. So make sure you have the weather radio. You have the Local 3 weather app downloaded, and you're tuning in on air and online because we're going to continue to give you updates as we see updates in the model data as well as the current conditions. So right now we're seeing the radar with that scattered rainfall moving through. We're going to see some heavier rain starting to move towards Altamont as well as Grundy, Marion County over there as that first push of just messy rainfall moves into the area, seeing rainfall all the way towards Ray, Bledsoe, and Meigs County up towards our northern counties through there. And then the severe weather threat for today, a marginal risk here in the green, the slight risk farther down to the south, extended to the southeast. The reason it's extended, it's not because of a tornado threat, it's because of the wind threat. We have a 15% shot, which causes it to turn into that slight risk there that you can see. We're going to be keeping a close eye, specifically flooding and high winds. Two key components to watch out for, like I mentioned, make sure you turn around, don't drown if you come across standing water. But we could see some hail and maybe even a few isolated tornadoes. I can't rule it out. Really depends what the atmosphere is going to do. If we get break periods during the day, we see more sunshine, it gets really muggy, more daytime heating. We do have a higher chance for some of these storms wanting to misbehave. But on the flip side, if it stays cloudier and this first round of rain just washes everything out, then we'll have a slightly lower chance. But I do think the main event is going to work in later on this afternoon into the evening. The 2% risk here in the green, the 5% risk farther down to the south, that has been upgraded compared to yesterday. Still a low risk, but not zero. Heading into the next couple of hours, again, a very messy morning commute anywhere from, we're starting to see that rainfall move in. That's probably going to linger until around 10, 11 o'clock as this shifts out of our area. Then we'll see whether we see breaks in cloud cover and more of that rainfall moves into the area leading into your evening hours tonight. And that rainfall, you've got to remember, this boundary that's going to move through is going to be very slow moving. So as the system slowly works in, if you get heavier bands of rainfall, that just means it's going to sit kind of in one spot and dump torrential rain in the spots where you have that, you know, the core of the heaviest rain in these thunderstorms. That's where you'll get the highest chance for flash flooding. Not necessarily thinking the entire viewing area, you know, is going to see flash flooding, but if you have some of those pinpoint storms, that's where you run the risk for that. So make sure you're downloading the Local 3 weather app and stay tuned. We're going to keep you posted all day long.
And listen, the reality is we have not had a lot of rain lately.
Exactly.
So, we haven't driven in rain lately.
We haven't. So, you know, just things to remember.
Yep. Be safe out there. Thank you, Hannah.